How are we doing, YouTube? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin, and it's 2022. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a great Christmas. I hope you all had a bit of time off. I hope you ate loads of delicious food and watched loads of Christmas films. I hope you've still got a couple of tins of chocolates left over, and I hope you're not cracking on just yet with your New Year's resolutions, but I hope you're slowly but surely putting them into play. So it's that time of every YouTube channel, every music YouTube channel anyway, where we go through the top 10 albums of the year. It's always something I have fun with. Even before I had the YouTube channel, I look forward to doing it for whatever magazine or website I was writing for. Few little ground rules. A few little things of how I've done it. Basically, I don't review anything on this channel I don't like or can't be bothered with. So everything that I reviewed in the last year could have been considered for this. And I had to not quickly, but for the last couple of weeks I've been sort of going through them all again and narrowing it down. I think the top 5 was pretty solid. I wrote that down straight away and it's not really changed. I think 3 and 4 I think I swapped around. But yeah, 6 to 10, that was really hard because there was loads of great albums that could have been considered, but I've condensed it down. I've been strict, and yeah, let's get on with it. Just I'm not going to go too much into detail because I have reviewed all these albums. I don't really want to repeat that. I'll give a little brief summary, and if you do want to know more about the album, check out. I'll put links in the description of all the albums. A more in-depth review will be in the description below, so you can click on that if you want to know more, or if you just want to rehash and go with it. So, and if this happens to be your first video watching of me, then that's a good little way to have a look at a few older videos and see what you think of the channel. So up first, this was a late comer really. This hasn't come out that long ago, but it's been a really fun album. It's just got the riffs on this are just awesome. The band are really tight, and it's just really good songs. Awesome melodic leads, and yeah, in this time of year when we're going to be getting back into going back down the gym and working out again, this will get you through a very strenuous workout, and that is Devour of the Dead by Witch's Hammer. And yeah, we had Jay on the channel a few weeks back, and it's always fun speaking to him, and hopefully he's going to be back soon. We're going to be talking about Massacre. So up next we've got Gut Wound by Envig. Awesome album, and this band ain't really getting the props I think they deserve. I think they've done an EP and an album before this, so I think this is the second full-length album. And that first album, and the promise has been shown, but this is the album where they really came into their own. And this is a really cool edition as well. If you do get the Digipack edition, you get a live album, which is worth picking up as well. It's a pretty good set. It's nicely recorded, and the band are really tight in there. And yeah, basically, without regurgitating, they've got their own thing going on, but the best way to sum this up is just like that little hole on this poor little chap on the cover, that bolt thrower hole in your life, this will help fill. I'll just leave it at that. But very, very good. Not regurgitation, not bolt thrower worship, but just in that vein, good, dirty, riff-driven death metal with good hooky choruses, good, memorable songs. Up next, it was kind of neck and neck, actually, between these and Exodus. I thought Exodus' new album was really good, but it was just getting a bit, this ain't big enough for the both of us. So, and I kind of realised that Hell Unleashed by Evile is, well, they pretty much do in 40 minutes what it takes Exodus to do in an hour. I just felt everything I liked on that album was also present here, but it was just more condensed. It's great to see Evile back in action under a slightly different incarnation, but they've picked up where they've left off, and this sort of marks a new era for the band, and I hope they hit the ground running with the momentum of this album and start a new era, really. But yeah, just 9 fantastic songs. I think one of them is a cover, actually. I can't remember which one. I think there's a Mortician cover on this. But, yeah, Ollie has stepped into the vocal position, and he's took to it swimmingly, given a different approach, but it works, and he does his own thing. But, yeah, as I said with Witch's Hammer, with all these albums, fantastic riffs, fantastic musicianship on display, and just an all-round, just a great listen. Moving on, still another thrash metal album. This band came out of nowhere. They released a debut album last year, and then they put this album out this year. And again, I mean, think Exodus, think Testament, you know, big chunky riffs. I think, you know, maybe a little bit of Pantera in there as well. Think Testament, sort of gathering era, so it's nice and dark, nice and heavy, but big and majestic when it needs to be. Big, massive choruses, and that is bonded with Into Blackness. Fantastic album, fantastic vocals. Yeah, I threw this album at all my mates, and yeah, check this album out. I don't know if they did, but yeah, another band that I think needs to get a decent bit of promotion. I think, yeah, like with your Testaments, with your Exoduses, your Death Angels, any band like that, I think this would be a superb support band for any of them. What we got next? Yes, right. UK black metal, Wode, Burn in Many Mirrors. I mean, I've said since their debut, Wode are one of the most exciting new bands to come out of the UK black metal scene in recent years, and they've just smashed 3 fantastic albums out, and each one just gets better than the last one. And this one, they really open up their sounds, what they're doing, you know, different elements of their sound, their songwriting, and yeah, they just get better with every album. And this, I mean, especially the last track when it goes, Streams of Rapture, that 3-part epic. It's yeah, just a fantastic piece of work. And where are we going on to now? Top 5. Let's go. Right. One of my first videos that really sort of got good views to my standard anyway. But I'll just tell you what it is. It's Cannibal Corpse, Violence Unimagined. I was a little bit worried when Eric joined the band. Not so much that I had worries about how the album was going to turn out, but it was more, I don't know, it'd be like, I'm trying to think, I don't know, it was like Adrian Smith joining Judas Priest. It was just like, oh yeah, is it going to gel, and what's it mean for Hate Eternal, and and well, I needn't have worried. This is a fantastic album. I think it's the best album Cannibal Corpse has put out in quite a while, and there wasn't really a bad one. I mean, I don't think even Cannibal Corpse at their worst, I still enjoy it. It's a 8 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. There's always still good songs on it. But Eric has joined the band properly, and he was it 3 or 4 songs that he contributed to the album, and it's just seamless. And the band felt like they did on Kill. Kill, that marked like a new era in the band. They just sort of came back at the right time, and they felt rejuvenated and just, you know, when a band just comes out and you get that album in the catalogue where it just feels like the band it marks a new era for the band, and that's what I feel like Kill did, and this feels like that now. This is, I think, the best album they've done since Kill. And there's not been anything to complain about between now and then anyway. But yeah, I listened to it again the other day, and it's just a phenomenal album. The band are on just awesome form all round. And inspired, that's the word I was looking for. Up next, number 4, Mastodon. What was the song called? Hushed and Grim. A fucking masterpiece. I mean, I really was not expecting this. I kind of just ordered it it came up. I was on Amazon and it just came up. And the last couple of Mastodon albums have been all right. They've not been bad by any stretch of the imagination. But for me, it's just been, I've sort of enjoyed them, but then I've moved on quite easily. And I'd listen to it enough to get a review of it, or listen to it until the next like big release of the year would come out, and then I kind of moved on to that one. And I need to go over their last couple of albums again and sort of reassess them. But again, it's all been good. And I got this just thinking, you know, I was saying to someone the other day, actually, Mastodon are one of those few bands where I was there from the first album, and I've actually maintained a relationship, an interest even today, up until today. And there's not a lot of bands I've been like that with, especially like ones where I've been there when the debut album came out. And I kind of just got it out of habit and wasn't really expecting too much. I thought I'd like it. Mastodon are still doing Mastodon, and that'd be that. So when I opened it up and I found 2 CDs, I thought, oh, if they put a DVD in, oh no, it's 2 discs. Fuck, it's a double album. And then I went, okay. But phenomenal. I mean, this is, you know, I think they finally reached that point where, as much as they're a heavy, you know, especially in those first couple of albums, that first album, Remission, is fucking heavy. But, you know, and they kind of came out of the relapse, you know, 2 of them were in Today's the Day and Bongzilla and, you know, these heavy, you know, stonery, heavy bands. And, but there was always elements in the backgrounds, and it was always, you know, they're just as inspired by Pink Floyd or Genesis as much as they are any given metal band, Neurosis as well. But yeah, this feels like they've finally, you know, this I can put up against King Crimson, or I wouldn't say Emerson, Lake and Palmer. That's Emerson, Lake and Palmer, a bit widdly, but definitely Land Lies on Broadway, you know, by Genesis, or Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. But still, it's still Mastodon. It's still got that metal crunch to it. And yeah, it's with a double album as well. That's no problem at all. Every song is great. It's an effortless listen, you know. Normally, the trap that double albums tend to fall into is it can be a bit of a heavy lift or a bit of a long stretch on repeated listens. But no, this is an effortless listen. It's basically 2 albums together, and yeah, really, really pleased by this. Really impressed. Really surprised. A real pleasant surprise. It's certainly reinvigorated my interest in the bands that I'd kind of just got a little bit autopilot on in the last recent albums. At number 3 is Kenn Nardi's Trauma. Unfortunately, I've not got a physical copy of this album because it's not out yet. The album came out earlier in the year on Bandcamp. You could buy it, but you could buy the download of it, which I did get. But with everything that's been going on, you know, there's backlogs when it comes to printing albums and whatnot, vinyl factories and CD pressing and whatnot. So there's been a delay on the physical products, but yeah, it's now available to pre-order on CD. I think it's out either the arse end of January or it's going to be in February, if my memory serves me. I have pre-ordered a copy. When I do get it, I will show it off, and I'm going to try and get Ken on the channel. Actually, I'd like to. I'm going to try and get an interview with him. He seems like he's going to be quite interesting, and obviously I'm a fan of Anacrusis as well. I'd love to talk about those 4 albums with him. I'd love to talk about his first solo album. That was another, you know, piece of work. And yeah, Dancing with the Past. I just quickly looked that up. Yeah, that's another great album. But yeah, Trauma, that is a work of art. I mean, another double album, and another effortless double album. I mean, the double albums really became stigmatized for a little while. I don't know why, but it's not a double album. This album is a songbook, is the best way to put it. It's just every song, it just feels like you're getting deeper and deeper into this world that he's creating, and it's a very deep very dark, very emotional album, and the more you listen to it, it reveals more and more of every listen, and just little finer details just come to the surface with every listen, and it's just a real rewarding, awesome album, really great album, and I look forward to it coming in the post on CD. Next up, number 2. This is Where Fear and Weapons Meet by 1914. This is just a masterpiece. It's absolutely fantastic album. Slightly slower. They're kind of thrown around as a doom death metal. I don't like doom, really. I mean, especially doom in a death metal sense. The odd's one there and then, but generally speaking, I get turned off. But I don't even think that's this. I think they've got their own thing going on now, but this is just a great death metal album. But far, far much more going on with it. I mean, this is cinematic in scope. Obviously, the World War One theme, but just devastatingly beautiful, crushing, horrific album. It's just fantastic. It really is just absolutely brilliant, and just as heavy as you would want it, but just with a devastating. It's heavy in an emotional sense as much as in a technical or not in a technical. That's not the word I'm looking for. In an aesthetically sense, obviously you want a death metal album to be heavy, and it is heavy sonically, but also deeply the way it paints the picture with the music and with the words. And I mean, it says that they try and be a bit more hopeful on this album. I'll leave that up to you. Maybe the Green Fields of France. I mean, the lyrics to that is that was an old folk song that they've reinterpreted, but they've 1914'd it up. But like I say, I had an interview with the band on this channel as well. So please go, if you are a fan of this band, go back and watch that, because again, it's not quite got the views I would have liked. And check out, if you want a bit more of an in-depth review, the review of it will be in the description below. But awesome album, a work of art. It really is a piece of work, and just like with Mastodon and Kenn Nardi and all these albums, And if you are a regular viewer of the channel, I don't think this is going to come to a big surprise, but the album of the year. And I'll be honest, this looked like it was going to take the top for a little while, but on a re-listen, little things that I forgot just came back to me. And come on, let's not be silly now. Sinjitsu by Iron Maiden. I've loved Iron Maiden for well over 20 years now, and albums like this are why. I am a little bit, I quickly got it here, but I still say it's neck and neck between these two albums, but at the end of the day, who gives a shit which one's better and which one ain't? But just fantastic music on this, fantastic songs. It sees the band still, after all this time, taking massive step forwards in developing their sound. They're still developing, they're still evolving, and it's just everything you want, with extra stuff to chew on and mull over going forward. And the song Hell on Earth, I mean, that is just, it's just such a fucking good song. It's a song that's affected me. It's had a massive impact on me, that song, and it just hits me every time. It just works. It's just absolute class songwriting. But everything on here is good. Stuff I wasn't even too keen on before, like the Time Machine, and Writing on the Wall. That feels just like a classic song now, and it hasn't even been played live yet. Not by Iron Maiden anyway. Nico's played it, But Days of Future Past, yeah, again, another double album. Not by design. Just happened to be out of the top 5. What, 3 of them are double albums. But yeah, it seems like this is the year the double album came back and became acceptable again. So yeah, just an awesome addition to an amazing back catalogue. So, and like I say, the review will be below. So hopefully these are albums that you've heard and you enjoy as well. Hopefully, you know, you may have something might have twigged your interest and you go, well, maybe I'll check that out. Something you might not have heard. Like I say, you know, 1914 or Bonded or Wode, you know, they're still climbing through the ranks. Envig, fantastic band. Witch's Hammer, Evile, and yeah, hopefully you might check out something that you might not have heard. And yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. January's a bit of a slow time, and as the year goes on, more and more, you know, more releases will come out, and I'll jump back on and start reviewing. I think I'm going to start working on a let's talk about episode. Bands. This while it's quiet, I'm going to start re-listening to a certain band's back catalogue. A band that's very dear to my heart, and they've got quite a long body of work. So while it's quiet, I'm going to start listening to them from album 1 and start working my way through, and hopefully a pretty long Let's Talk About video will be coming up to you soon. So if you've got this far, thanks for watching. If you can help the channel out, share this with your mates, like, subscribe if you feel the need to do so, and yeah, thanks for watching. Happy New Year, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care.